How is it going, guys? WINTROVERSE here, and today I am going to review the Worlde BlueWhale 49 MIDI keyboard. In this video, I am going to talk about the features of this MIDI keyboard, how to program it, and how to get started using it. I will also share to you my experience and review after using this for 2 weeks. And if you're interested, please keep on watching. So this is the BlueWhale 49. This cost around $160, but the price actually depends on where you live. But here in the Philippines, this costs around 8,000 pesos. And if you are interested in having this, I will put the links in the description box below. Worlde actually have 5 versions of this: the BlueWhale 25, BlueWhale 37, this, the BlueWhale 49, the BlueWhale 61, and the BlueWhale 88. The appearance and the functionality are actually the same. The only different are the number of keys that they have. But note that the BlueWhale 25 has less 4 knobs than the others.
So what we have here today is the BlueWhale 49. These have 49 full-size velocity-sensitive keys, 2 banks of 8 velocity and pressure-sensitive trigger pad, 2 banks of 8 assignable knobs, a pitch bend and a modulation touch strip, 6 function buttons, 5 MIDI machine control buttons, and an LED display. And on the side of the BlueWhale 49, we have a 5V DC power port, a USB Type-B port for connecting it to the computer, 2 assignable pedal interfaces, and 1 MIDI out port. If you are going to use the BlueWhale with a computer, there is no need for an external power supply. You don't have to use the 5V DC port. You can just simply plug this to your computer using the USB Type-A to USB Type-B cable. So starting with the keys, these have a velocity-sensitive keys. It has 4 octaves, which is just the right size for me. It fits well on my table, and I don't think that I need more keys than this. Unlike the Tuna Mini and the Panda Mini, which have mini keys, these have full-size keys, so it is much easier to play. The keys are also semi-weighted and it feels great to play them. This MIDI keyboard offers 6 different velocity curves. Here is the velocity chart that they offer. To change the velocity curve, press the Edit button to enter the multifunction mode and then press the Vel Curve button, which is the first key of the keyboard. The LED display will show you your current settings. And to change this, rotate the dial knob and choose what velocity curve you desire. Press the dial knob to enter and save your settings. Try to experiment with the different velocity curves to seek the curve that best suits your playing style. To change the octave of the keyboard, just press the octave button. Notice that the LED display changed to 0, which shows us our current octave transposition. Rotate the dial to select which octave you want. We can change it between -4 to 5 octave range, and 0 is the center. And to lock in the octave range that you selected, just press the dial button to save it. This MIDI keyboard also have a transpose function. This function allows the keyboard to change the pitch of the keys by a semitone. To change this, press the Expose button, and as same as changing the setting of the octave, use the dial knob to select the transposition that you want. At the left of the keyboard are the pitch bend and modulation touch strip. These are the same as the ones in the Worlde Tuna Mini. I am actually a fan of this on mini MIDI keyboards, but this time, in my opinion, this does not suit the BlueWhale 49. With the size and thickness of this MIDI keyboard, I think having an actual bend and modulation wheels suits better on this. I guess they just use the touch strip design on this MIDI keyboard to cut the price. But personally, I am willing to pay more for an actual wheels than having touch strips on this size of MIDI keyboard. But anyway, the touch strips are still better than buttons. And I would say that the sensitivity and responsiveness of the touch strip are really good and very accurate. Above the touch strips, we have 6 function buttons. The program button that we can use to adjust the voice of the current channel, a channel button which allows us to change between the 16 channels of the MIDI, a control assign button which allows us to assign channel and control number to the 8 knobs, a transpose button, an octave button, and an edit button. You can use the edit button to enter these functions. Just press the edit button, then the function that you want to change. Above the function buttons are the 5 MIDI machine control buttons, a record button, previews, forward, stop, and play button. We also have here the dial knob that is very useful for navigation and selecting between the function and features. You can push the dial button to enter and save your settings. And here, at the top left of the MIDI keyboard, we have the very useful 3 7-segment LED display. Here we have the 8 assignable knobs. These are continuous turning knobs. Turning and using these knobs feels really premium. They are very smooth and responsive. And as I have said earlier, this MIDI keyboard have 2 banks of knobs or encoders. To access the 9 to 16 knobs, press the edit button, then press this key. You'll see that the LED display says on, meaning that these knobs are now on the 9 to 16 setting. And to go back to the 1 to 8 setting, press the edit button and press this key once again, and you'll see that the LED display says off. And on the right side of the knobs, we have the 8 trigger pads. Just like the knobs, these pads have 2 banks as well. And to toggle between the 2 banks, it is just the same as changing the settings of the knobs. And just like the keys, these pads also offer 6 different pad curves. Here is the available velocity curve for the pads. To change your current pad curve settings, press the edit button to enter the multifunction mode and then press the pad curve button. The LED display will show you your current settings. And to change this, again, rotate the dial knob and choose what pad curve you want to use. And then press the dial knob to enter and save your settings. Try to experiment with the different pad curves that best suits your playing style. These pads are also RGB backlit. To change the light to the color that you want, press the edit button, then press the pad that you want to change the color. Rotate R1, R2, and R3 to change the RGB color. R1 is for blue, R2 is green, and R3 is red. The maximum value of each color is 127. 0 means that the LED lights are off, and you can use this chart for color reference. The material used for the pads are just like those in Panda Mini. The only problem for me is that the pads are a little bit smaller. It is actually not a problem, but for me, the perfect size of a trigger pad is like those in Panda Mini. But all in all, the pads feels great and it is very responsive. I would say that this is a must-have MIDI keyboard for serious music production, especially for beginners. As a mini MIDI keyboard user, sometimes I feel like 25 mini keys are not enough, and having a full-size keyboard with 4 octaves like the BlueWhale 49 just makes everything easier for me. I love the fact that this MIDI keyboard doesn't need any computer software anymore because you can program each pads, knobs, and keys on the MIDI keyboard itself. I also love that it has 2 banks of knobs and pads, and all of them are assignable and can be programmed. I really love the overall design of this MIDI keyboard. The top cover is brushed aluminum panel, which adds a premium look to the MIDI keyboard. By the way, this comes in 2 different colors. They also have a silver version of this, but I really like the all-black version that I have here. Having a compact design made it fit perfectly on my computer desk while providing all the control needed for programming and music production.
Overall, I really love this MIDI keyboard. I love everything about it except for the pitch and modulation touch strip. I really think that this size of MIDI keyboard, specifically the BlueWhale 49, deserves to have the actual pitch and modulation wheels. I am not saying that this is bad, but I think this is something that they can change in the future. But overall, I really love this MIDI keyboard. I use this every day for making music, music production, and for practicing piano. And for the price of $160, you cannot go wrong with this. And before I end this video, I would like to thank World Music Electronic Company for sending me this and the Tuna Mini. I already reviewed the Tuna Mini on this channel, and if you haven't watched it, I will put the link in the description box below. And that's it for today, guys, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment, and please do subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll get notified on every new video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.